10.7 Algebra and
Pythagorean.
Thank you. Pythagorean theorem. I can solve algebraic and solve triangles using
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean.
Excellent. All right, so probably the biggest part of this, you guys, is solving algebraically, just one-step equations, and then understanding at least the basics of the Pythagorean theorem. I know we got pretty advanced at the end, so don't freak out about that, but the basics of algebra is what I want you to take away. So here we go. We have x plus 2 equals 5. I know all of you know the answer is 3, right?
No.
Do we care about the answer? No. How do you get there algebraically? Is you have to get x by its. So how do you get rid of a positive 2? You do the opposite, right? So what's the opposite of adding? It is
Subtracting.
But since there's an equal sign here, we have to be equal. We have to be equal to both sides of the equation, right? So if you subtract 2 on the left side, you must also subtract 2 on the
Right side.
So what is 5 minus 2?
3.
That's how we solve that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 is the same exact problem. Well, not the same exact problem, but the same type of problem. But instead of undoing with subtraction, we're undoing with what?
Addition.
Because we have to undo this subtraction right here. And ultimately, the goal is to get y by its. Number 3. Here we have the original problem is in green here. 12 equals 4 times h. We have to get h by its. How do you undo multiplication?
Division.
And if you do division to one side, you must do division to the
Other side.
And what happens to our 2 4s? Well, they cancel each other out. They reduce down to 1, right? And how many h's do I have here? How many h's do I have? 1. 1 h is equal to
3.
So we're going to use this to solve for missing dimensions. So you guys had this problem earlier in the chapter, right?
Yes.
You knew the base, you didn't know the height, but you knew the area. This is your formula. So the area is 96, the base is 16, the height is h. We want to get h all by itself, right?
Yeah.
So how do you undo the 16 times h? You use what?
Division.
And we divide it by
16.
16. Remember, a lot of you told me, how do you get h 2 lessons ago? You said you take 96 and divide it by 16. This is why you do that. Like, you guys already knew part of the algebra piece. How about number 5? Again, same concept. Base times height, 9 times h, and we know the area is what?
27 units squared.
So there is your equation, right? 27 equals 9 times h. Show your work to get the h by itself. Divide by 9, they cancel out. Yes, no? Okay, moving on. Pythagorean theorem applies to what kind of triangles?
Right triangle.
Pythagorean theorem only works with right triangles. The formula is on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
And then what is A and B? A and B are the
Legs.
And the legs are what make up the right angle, right?
Yeah.
And then C is the
Hypotenuse.
And the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. Hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle, right?
Yeah.
So then for this problem, number 8, we took this leg, and we took this leg, 3 squared, 4 squared, and we didn't know what C was, right? What's 3 squared, you guys?
9.
What's 4 squared, you guys?
16.
And we still don't know this, right? What's 9 plus 16, you guys?
25.
And we still don't know what C squared is. So this is where some new learning came in. In order to get rid of the square, we use a, and it cancels out the square, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
And this is an equal sign, so if we do the square root on this side, we have to do the square root on.
The other side.
So how do we get to the root of 25? We do the square root of it, right? So what times what gets us to 25? 5. Or you pull out your calculator, and you go 25, and you use, I don't know if this is going to work, you use this button right here, right? Hit the square root button, whoops, that didn't work. So 25, and we find the square root of it, which is 5. Okay. I am not going to get too deep in the video here. Number 9 is another example of what we just did, except for we rounded to the nearest hundredth. Number 10. In this case, we knew the hypotenuse, right? But we didn't know one of the legs. So our goal was to get this variable b by itself, right?
Yes.
And what's the easiest thing to do if you have this whole long equation? We want to get rid of the, everybody? 9. Okay? And then from there, you solve like you did on the previous problems. I'm not going to go through number 11. Number 11 got really, really pretty complex. I think you're going to have a chance in your assignment to solve that one. But if it's confusing to you, just take a look at it, go work through it one more time, but I'm not going to do it in the video to save some time. And also, I know a couple of us are still out there confused. Okay? Remember what I did here, though. I took this right here, and I just blew it up so it was easier for us to work with. So it was bigger, right? Okay.